Excuse me, are you Herbert Corrigan? This is what's listed as your address, but there was no marking on the door.
It was an ordinary Tuesday for the most part. I had just finished up the case of the missing coin box and was eager to spend a few nights to myself. That all changed, though, when trouble walked right into my office and sat in my chair. Yes, I'm Herbert Corrigan. How may I help you?
I'm Allison Dean, and I'm here to enlist your services, Mr. Corrigan. I understand you specialize in matrimonials?
Yes, I do. Do you suspect your husband is having an affair, Mrs. Dean?
He is having an affair. I just need your proof. He comes home at ungodly hours of the night and always seems preoccupied by something or another.
Okay, Mrs. Dean. I'll look into it. My expenses are I could have told her he was having an affair from the jump of it, but the reason people like her come to people like me is to get their suspicions confirmed. She didn't tell me her husband was injured, or how, or why. I suppose it was my job to find out. It wasn't that I really minded. Matrimonials for the rich are pretty lucrative, and I wouldn't mind cashing in this cast business for another few bucks.
Huh. Hey, you. Mind coming down to the station telling us about this fire?
I was in no mood to comply, but then it struck me. If the police were here, arson was suspected. Happy to comply, officer. I'm Herbert Corrigan. At the house of the Big Cheese, things began to heat up. The cops in this town were as corrupt as any bad apple, and despised law-abiding citizens like me almost as much as they despised a good regimen of diet
Mr.
and
Corrigan,
exercise.
we meet again. Do you still have your license?
Police Chief Leeds. Well met, I'm sure. Still have your wife? Police Chief Leeds was as crooked as they come, which probably had something to do with his wife skipping town a few months ago. I knew I shouldn't mouth off to him for the benefit of my good health, but looking at his smug face, I couldn't resist one little jest. It appeared he couldn't either.
Pro bono, old friend. Now, do you want to tell me what you were doing at the Wild and Wacky Club on 9th Street earlier today?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid my clients enjoy strict confidentiality as long as I'm paid. Such as it is, I can't disclose my motives to you.
Bill, take this sad sack to detention room B and give him a good beating. I'm sick of his face.
It was safe to say that I was having a rough go of it, but something in that beating had jostled my brain to the right place, and it occurred to me. The late great Tobias.
We got Corrigan coming your way now.
Who are you people? Where are we going?
We're gonna meet the boss.
Would you let me in as to who the boss may be?
Of course, the only boss I knew was Springsteen, but I was taken away from my investigation by these two scheming Brits, and I needed to find out as much as I could so that I could find out a way to escape. It seemed as though I was trapped between a rock and a hard place when one of these chaps gave me a nugget.
I couldn't even tell you his name. I just know he's from Wood Buffalo up in Alberta.
I'd been to Alberta before, but never Wood Buffalo. I didn't know what to make of this new information, but it at least gave me some context into who this fella is. After all, how many people in this city are from Alberta?
Alright, in you go.
I know that cast.
I'm sure you do. I put you on to it.
Allison? What on earth is happening? It was obvious now that this was no ordinary matrimonial. There was something much more sinister afoot, but I couldn't place my finger on it. Why did you kidnap me? And you're from Alberta? I have a cousin up there.
We'll get to that first question later. But yes, I am from Alberta. From a small town called Fort McMurray.
Suddenly, things began to click for me. Allison had problems with her husband and wanted him out of the picture. So, she lit the fire at the Wild and Wacky Club, knowing he'd be there and hoping it would take him out. Why she didn't expect me to also be there, I don't know. Perhaps she doubted my obvious expertise. So you wanted Tobias out of the picture, and then lit the fire at the Wild and Wacky Club? Well, why didn't you expect that I'd be there? Were you perhaps doubtful of my obvious expertise?
What? No, shut up! Tobias isn't a real person, you moron. That was just some guy I found. I needed the Wild and Wacky Club gone because it set you up perfectly for life in prison. Especially if that man died. However, You got away from my husband. Now I'm caught in a real pickle.
Now the picture is clear. She's trying to test my own expertise to know if I can continue to search for Trekker's husband. I am resolved to leave this place and search for him.
And who might you be?
My name is Allison Dean, and I seek out your professional help in following my husband. I need to see what he's doing.
Do you suspect an affair?
I don't suspect an affair. I know he's having an affair. I just need proof. And I'm all out of pudding.
Well, fear not, Mrs. Dean. I will be sure to discover what that philandering traitor husband of yours is doing. I will bring you proof, but I warn you, the price is large.
Do I look like a woman of non-considerable means?
No, ma'am. I knew that whatever Mrs. Dean's husband was doing, it would end here. There was something cluing me into the 2W nature of the club.
Why, what you doing it, chap?
It what happened down at those clubs on that avenue, innit?
That's where the two private eyes in my employ were last seen. They've a real adhesion to doubly-W'd clubs.
And you sent them there, Mrs. Dean?
Well, no. They just seem to go there after I employ them.
Any connection to your lecherous husband?
Not that I know of.
Then why would they keep being so dubiously delighted by these WW dens?
Could you please stop alliterating?
It will make me happy, Mrs. Dean.
It would make me very happy if you stopped.
By your bilferingly bodacious request, I will, if it will make you happy.
Mr. Jones, I cannot help but notice that you are continuing with this asinine alliterative schema.
You're being a bit unpleasant.
If you would simply speak like a normal human being, this would not be a problem.
Let's try not to ruin things on the first date, huh? It will happen to me Nan after her divorce.
Well, I'm very sorry that happened, but we have a more important task at hand.
More important than me Nan?
Good Lord, man, get a hold of yourself. I need you to investigate the illustrious, ill-timed inability to arrive by not only my treacherous husband, but by the two private investigators I put in my employ. Now, I expect the highest level of sincerity and gravitas given your steep pricing.
It will pays the bills, innit? I could tell she thought I was just another private eye who might just get to the center of the deep lake, otherwise known as her psyche. But what Alison Dean and the rest of the world don't know is that Prufrock Jones is a beast unto himself. After failing my last 3 cases searching for a rabbit in the downtown area, I'm ready to show proof that Prufrock Jones will proliferate clues like a pilfer of priceless pence.
Scumbag!
Maggot!
I've heard that echoing embouchure before.
Tell me it ain't.
You tell me first.
Lampy Jones, is that you?
Oh, you know I don't go by that no more. It will make me upset.
Is Jimmy Two Prostate from the Gaelic pit?
How are you, Jimmy Two Prostate?
Quite alright, aren't I?
Why are you still going by that, though? Ain't Jim Clifford too hard to remember?
It ain't about that right now. I've been told to capture you.
Oh, and who might have put you up to this ridiculously reticent rabble?
Oi, just getting the chaffee, mate.
Prufrock.
Allison, if your scheming, scandalous mind does not reveal to me what is happening this moment, we're going to have a grand old tussle.
You don't know anything, Lampy.
Oi, how do you know that? Ain't that the whole point in this here plan of yours?
Get him out of here.
Uh-oh. Mighty fine trick, innit?
And what brings you seek someone of such high expertise like myself.
Well, it seems I've gotten myself into a fickle pickle that's fairly trickable.
I've caught you. You're rhyming, you scum.
Can you help me, sir?
Ma'am, I can help anyone and everyone for the right price. What are you asking for?
I need you to track down a man named Proofrock Jones.
Old Penny Jones himself. Proofrock couldn't detect his way out of a shoebox if you gave him a knife and a match.
Then this should be fairly easy. We can discuss fees later. I'll be seeing you.
Goodbye, dear.
That's enough of that, old git. Won't be seeing him again. Funeral's on Sunday. Family and friends welcome. BYOP.
My mother was hit by a car driven by a private investigator, circa 2005. So that's what this is all about.
I am gobsmacked.
Hello, Gobsmacked. I'm Proofrock Jones, but close friends call me Proofy.
You moron. How did you find them, Acesso Manor?
What a wonderful painting.
You weren't supposed to see that.
What explains it all, isn't it?
Mr. Jones, explain to me what exactly you think my plan is.
Well, your plan was to avenge the death of your mother at the hands of the unknown private eye by wiping out every single private investigator this side of the Mississippi. But only in the Californian area, despite the fact that this clearly happened in Wood Buffalo. Your concept of geography is flawed, you inept, ignorant imbecile.
How do you know of my connection to the great Albertan town of Wood Buffalo?
A British thug told me.
How can that be?
Take a bit of time, dear.
I don't want time. I want the head of every private investigator this side of the Mississippi on a silver platter.
I'm not King Herod.
Explain to me what exactly your plan is, Proofrock.
It's a bit silly, actually. I am also Herbert Corrigan.
But his head was blown up like a balloon at the Macy's Day Parade.
Please, Mrs. Dean, you're analogizing.
But how?
It was a bit befuddling.